controversy in a couple of the rounds. Performance of the night for you, Rodolfo. Who is it?
Lewis Murdoch. Keep your eyes on that guy. That guy's a stud.
Well, it's a bold call for Jimmy Smith, Rodolfo Roman, everybody backstage, Campbell McLaren. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time in La Jaula.
And it's United States versus Italy. Gianlucca Rocca taking on Landry Ward as we go into the official introduction. Mr. Lupe Contreras.
Entrando a la jaula, Gianlucca Rocca.
There she is. She's a beauty. Copa Combate. But today is about the man from Italy. Purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Started MMA after seeing Diego Sanchez taking on Gilbert Melendez, and what a fight that was. That convinced him, hey, I need to be a part of mixed martial arts, and decided to do so, now training at the Palestra Pride located in Sant'Angelo, a small city in Italy. As we await his opponent, Landry Ward. Lupe, with the official introduction.
Su oponente, Landry Ward.
Landry, the Lone Star Kid Ward, played football in high school, was set to get a college scholarship in the sport, but some setbacks did not allow him to take down that route. He became a mixed martial artist and now trains at the Kill Cliff Fight Club and DK Fitness. Originally from Texas, hence the cowboy hat. And now training out of Florida here, calls it home. Striker and an aggressive grappler. Brings a lot of action and offensive movement. This should be a great fight between these two, as Rocca recently completed in the inaugural European tournament here in Combate Global. Rocca 28-25 for Ward, 5'10", compared to 6'1" for Ward. The reach advantage is 1 inch for Ward. The weight 155.4 to 155.6 for the man from Texas. Lupe Contreras with the official introduction.
Continuamos con mucha más acción. Este duelo, 3 vueltas, división peso ligero. We continue with much more action. This bout 3 rounds in the lightweight division. Los jueces son, the judges are James Lázaro, Richard Green Jr. y Richard Green. Y ahora, damas y caballeros, llegó el momento de un combate global. Presentando la esquina azul, vestido de rojo, presenting the blue corner, wearing red. Sobre la báscula, marcó un peso oficial de 155 libras y media. On the scale, he tipped it at 155.5 pounds. Entra en su noveno combate con 6 victorias y 2 derrotas, y enters la jaula for the 9th time as a pro with 6 victories against 2 losses. De Santa Arcangelo, di Romagan, Italia, Gianlucca Django Rocca. Su contrario en la esquina roja, vestido de azul, his opposition in the red corner, wearing blue. Su peso oficial, 155 libras y media. He weighed in at an identical 155.5 pounds. Entra por octava ocasión a la jaula con 6 victorias y 1 derrota. He enters la jaula for the 8th time as a pro with 6 victories against 1 lone defeat. Here comes the gringo from Fort Worth, Texas, Landry, the Lone Star Kid Ward. El referee internacional, Raúl Porrata.
Center. To the center. Obey my commands and protect yourselves at all times. I expect a clean fight. Touch gloves now if you wish. Return to your corners.
And it will be a battle between Italy
Back up.
on the United States.
Ready.
Landry Ward in blue, Rocca in red. Rocca of that town in Italy. Rimini has a background too in Olympic wrestling and Taekwondo. Landry Ward, first love of martial arts, Muay Thai. Remember, he was a football player, had much success, but as life brings you some setbacks, focus more in the world of MMA. It's about 155 pounds scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. Both these men reappearing in La Jaula. Rocca making his appearance in Combate Global after competing in the first European tournament. Oh, good shot there by Landry Ward. As for Landry Ward, man has been very active in the world of MMA. Already has picked up some victories here against Alfredo Ruelas, Tumaroa, and Carlos Rivera. His lone loss is to Jair Perez, a man who has a spectacular resume in MMA. That was back in 2022, a defeat by way of unanimous decision inside La Jaula. Rocca with the punches, but Landry Ward taking his opponent towards La Jaula. Now for the takedown attempt. Here he picks up that right leg, holding on to it. Rocca needs to be careful with those elbows. No elbows to the back of the head. Raul Porrata, international referee and the third person in La Jaula. Landry Ward does have some fierce hands. 50% of his victories have been by way of TKO. As for the man from Italy, 70% chance of winning by way of TKO. A bit more experience when it comes to the fighting world, has a bit more fights compared to Landry Ward. Doesn't mean much. Good 1-2 combination there from Rocca. The problem is that he wasn't sitting on those punches. He was running and taking the shots. And a very unusual takedown as his shoulder came in. And it's almost like he forgot his hands. More like a tackle. You can't really do that in MMA. Might be met by a knee. 2 minutes to go in the first round. Landry Ward still working hard with that single leg. Now going for the double leg. Good way of Landry Ward of protecting himself from those elbows. Landry Ward not giving up on that single leg. He was still holding on to it. And he wanted to transition to the double. Landry Ward positioning Rocca towards La Jaula in the clinch position. Liking of Ward is putting in that left shoulder into the chest of Rocca, pinning him there. It's very exhausting. Good combination trade-off there, and Landry Ward into that left hand. That jab. Going for the feint, Rocca fell for it. Rocca stepping backwards. Ward hunting his prey. Oh, they're ready. But the problem with Rocca is he's throwing in those shots. He's not sitting on them. It's just like he's just throwing them. Wow, he tried to go for the fake right hand and went for the takedown attempt, but didn't really work out to the way he wanted. Back again towards La Jaula. 20 seconds to go. Landry Ward training with some savages there at the Killcliff Fight Club in Florida as we approach the 10-second mark here in this first round. We'll be back with more after the break. Landry Ward in blue. Rocca from Italy in red. Second round action. This is Combate Global. Mucho más acción, much more action. You're watching Combate Global. It's just, you're on a roller coaster. Emotion, action. It's just non-stop. We've seen it so far here with these two young men, Landry Ward out of Texas and Rocca out of Italy. And what a great opportunity it is for these fighters, but also for the MMA fans. They were able to see fighters from all parts of the world, from Italy, the Caribbean, South America, places that we're not really used to. Back then, you just have the United States and Brazil, but now we're seeing all these fighters from all these untouched territories, and matchmakers here at Combate Global have an eye for talent. Rocca being one of them. Now Landry Ward working from half guard. There's some blood in there already. Not sure if it's Landry Ward. Good way of Landry Ward. They're trying to escape the half guard. See how he's stepping up. It's almost like he's doing a downward dog in yoga, but with his elbows on the canvas. And here we have that open scoring. Our judges saw the first round going for the Italian. But that means nothing because he seems to be in deep, deep waters here. On the ground, Landry Ward having success. Shot there from Ward. Rocca picking up that guard. He's trying to get those arms there locked in to see if he can get a submission. It's a weird position that he's in. Maybe he's going to switch around for a triangle. Yes, he's trying to. But you can see that Landry Ward is, as his corner said, wiggling to get off. And he's doing what he needs to do. Putting both shoulders, pinning Rocca's shoulders on the canvas and standing up to break that hold or break that guard. Now, it's like a can opener there from Landry Ward, and it's very exhausting. And now he tried to go for the triangle choke. Doesn't have it locked in, though. Good way of Landry Ward of breaking it up here. Good defense. The thing is, as you're into this second round, the sweat comes into play, the blood, and it's kind of hard to grab that triangle at times because of that sweat. All those challenges come and really play a major role. Rocca here holding on to that left arm or right arm of Landry Ward in hopes of pushing his hips up and getting the triangle choke, but it's going to be nearly impossible. Minute and a half to go. Still going. The problem is that Rocca is really pinned down to his upper shoulders here, and it's a hard situation that he's in if he wants to get a submission. Good way of the corner of telling Landry Ward to compose himself and not go wild. We're shrimping, and he's still attempting that triangle. Not nobody home. Doesn't really have anything there. Good way of Landry Ward of shifting his hips. Now in half guard. Approaching the 30-second mark in this second round. Now, doing what he needs to do there, you saw that he had the left leg to break the hold of Rocca's right leg to escape the half guard in hopes of either getting mount or side control. Now, Landry, good way of pinning that right arm of Rocca. As we approach the 10-second mark, we'll live to see that third round up next. And that is the end of the round. We'll be back with more after the break. Rocca, Ward, United States versus Italy. Third round for all the marbles. That first round went for the Italian. I would say that the second went for the American. If I'm corrected, it could be a do or die round right here. It's the game 7 for these two. Great low kick there from Giancarlo, but as you can see, when he does that kick, the planting of the feet, it's not stable. So it's not coming with a lot of power, but that knee sneaking in from Landry Ward, that one woke up Giancarlo like a cup of coffee in the morning. A low kick, not much damage. Good right hand. Now he's landing with that right hand, but Rocca needs to, it's a combination. One shot is just not gonna be enough. And once again, you see Landry, he'll do the 1-2. They lift his footing. And that's been happening because he's not planting his feet correctly. It's nothing to do with sweat or anything. It's just like he's not putting in, planting his foot, and the power comes from that back leg. Trying to go for the Darce choke. Landry Ward is a very difficult move, but he's trying. All he has to do is put it in, roll over. He may get it. If he gets that leg, he has to find the right time to turn him over. But Rocca has that left leg. And he escapes, not clearly. Good way of Landry fixing himself. And there's even Stevens, 1-1. Landry Ward, good way of posting himself and getting those hips, preventing the takedown from the Italian. Rocca taking the leg. And now Rocca in trouble, giving away his back, escaping now. Now positioning himself in the clinch in La Jaula. And this is more like reminiscent of that first round when Landry Ward fought really hard for the single leg, and then he'll transition to the second, but wasn't too effective. But now, being that we're in the third round, the energy has calmed down. Maybe he has success this time around. Knee from Ward into the inner thigh of Rocca. Rocca following back, responds with a knee himself. Try to go for the trip. Good way of Landry. Reading it. Wrapping his hands around his waist. That's a good effort there from Landry Ward. He put his face in the chin of Rocca and then following up with an elbow. Went back and forth here. Oh, the mouthpiece fell off of Rocca. Puts it right back in and fight kicks off right there and then. No wasted time. You can see the energy level from the Italian. Oh, knee! But the Italian's still holding on. Hands are down. Rocca is no longer there. That energy level has just come down, and that blood just gushing through the Italian. Desperately trying to roll and find something. Oh, it's a leaky faucet. Not even a plumber could stop that one. Holy cow. And that's that fisheye view from the referee. Man. Good way of Landry Ward just positioning his body, smashing his opponent, just keeping him down. And it's literally raining blood. No pun intended from Slayer. It's a bloody mess. And that's it. Raul Porrata stops the fight. Wow. We'll be back with the official result after the break. And Lupe Contreras with the result.
El referee Raúl Porrata detiene el combate con un tiempo oficial de 4 minutos, 43 segundos del tercero y último asalto. Referee Raúl Porrata steps in and calls a halt to this contest with an official time of 4 minutes, 43 seconds of the third and final round. Your winner, by way of TKO, el vencedor por knockout técnico, the Lone Star Kid, Landry Ward.
And Landry Ward picking up the victory, looking real good inside La Jaula. The man from Texas who traded the pigskin for the gloves. Giancarlo Rocca out of Italy, Landry Ward out of the United States. And in that first round, the Italian took that win. However, Landry Ward picked up the second and then ended up winning the fight at the end of the night. But Rocca coming in, and the issue was that he was throwing wildly, was not planting his feet. So the power wasn't really coming from his back leg. Very loose. And we started, as the fight proceeded, to see those holes, and Landry Ward saw it. But it was right here, total domination on the ground from Landry Ward that gave him that win. He just smashed him right on the ground. There was nothing left for the Italian to do. Right here, he lost his footing. He attempted to go for the throw, but just wasn't enough. And then it just became a bloody nightmare. I mean, just blood all over the place. It became a bloodbath as the Italian was literally bathed in blood, like a scene from a horror movie. Landry Ward with the victory. TKO stoppage. Congratulations to the Lone Star Kid. Landry Ward. Let's take a look at the stats. 114 shots taken by the man from Texas compared to 34, but the difference there was the takedown. That made the difference, especially in that last round where he was able to just pin down his opponent, leaving him puzzled and with no artillery. But there's more. We'll be back after the break. Up next, Jonathan Munoz taking on Pablo Tirado. 33 for Munoz compared to 27 of Tirado. Just a 1-inch difference there. The advantage going for Tirado and the 73-inch. Even Stevens. Lupe Contreras with the introduction.
Este duelo, 3 vueltas a un peso pactado a 160 libras this bout. 3 rounds of the catch weight of 160 pounds. Los jueces son. The judges are Lorenzo Toledo, Mark Streisand y Dorian Mirasola. Presentando la esquina azul, vestido de azul, presenting the blue corner, wearing blue. Marcó un peso oficial de 160 libras. He registered on the official 160 pounds. Esta noche se lanza a las grandes ligas de las artes marciales mixtas. Dentro de la jaula de Combate Global tonight, he makes the leap into the big leagues of MMA. Inside of la jaula de Heredia, Costa Rica, Jonathan Malibu Munoz. Su contrario en la esquina roja, vestido de rojo, his opponent in the red corner wearing red. Su peso oficial 158 libras y media. His official weight 158 and 1/2 pounds. Igual que su rival. Debuta dentro de la jaula de Combate Global like his opponent. He is making his debut inside of la jaula de la Ciudad de México. Pablo Tirado. El referee internacional, Raúl Porrata.
To the center, al centro. Obey my commands at all times, protect yourselves at all times. Obedezcan mis órdenes y protegen en todos momentos. Toquen guantes, touch gloves, back to your corners.
And there you have the third man in La Jaula, Raúl Porrata. Jonathan Munoz
Ready?
out of Costa Rica taking on Pablo Tirado out of Mexico. So it's a battle between Mexico and Costa Rica. A great way of grabbing that leg of Tirado, holding onto it and tripping for the man of Costa Rica who has a background in boxing and karate. Tirado has that background in boxing and taekwondo. Both these men making their debut. You heard Lupe Contreras saying jumping to the big leagues. And that is Combate Global. Tirado in red, Munoz in blue. Both these dudes making their debut. Munoz had a successful, and that's straight to the canvas. Tirado, that's it. That's all she wrote. Wow. You blinked and you probably would have missed that. Wow. What an incredible ending to that fight. Couldn't even get through my notes. That's how quick this fight finished. Holy cow. Jonathan Munoz with the victory. First round TKO or KO at 50 seconds. Incredible stuff from the man from Costa Rica. Not that many fighters that we've seen from that country, but we've seen a few here in Combate Global. And maybe this guy is that person that will be representing the country in the world of mixed martial arts. Pablo Tirado seems to be now waking up after that incredible shot. Here's a leg. Let's say the trip. Tripping out to the ground. And then it was that, well, they got the left, followed by the right. 1, 2, 3. Oh, combination. That right snuck in right there to the chin. And he is counting sheep. Beautiful combination from Munoz. Wow. Phenomenal stuff. As we
Este combate concluye con un tiempo oficial de 50 segundos del primer episodio. This bout concludes with an official time of 50 seconds of the opening round. Your winner, by way of KO, el vencedor por knockout de Costa Rica, Jonathan Malibu Munoz.
Well, I'm sure he bought himself a nice Malibu after that victory. He'll get himself something really nice. Jonathan Munoz out of Costa Rica earning that victory. 50 seconds knockout. Incredible action. And that was his debut, folks. we'd be glad to see him once again inside La Jaula. We will be back with more after the break. And up next, a head-to-head. Oh, this one is going to be a great one. Azizoun taking on Ismael Zamora. Zamora 22, Azizoun 24. The height advantage going to Azizoun. Weight advantage as well, 135.6 pounds compared to 135 to the Mexican. Lupe Contreras with the introduction.
Este es el duelo estelar de esta noche. 3 vueltas, división peso gallo. This is the main event, 3 rounds. In the bantamweight division, los jueces son, the judges are Richard Green, Vicente Rodríguez y James Lázaro. Y ahora, damas y caballeros, llegó el momento de un combate global. Presentando en la esquina azul, vestido de blanco, presenting the blue corner, wearing white. Marcó un peso oficial de 135 libras y media. He registered on official 135.5 pounds. Con un récord combinado de 20 victorias, una derrota y un empate, with a combined combat sports record of 20 victories, 1 defeat and 1 draw. De Saint-Étienne, Francia, Anas, the Rainmaker, Azizoun. En la esquina opuesta, vestido de rojo in the opposite corner, wearing red. Su peso oficial, 135 libras, his official weight, 135 pounds. Entra por séptima vez a la jaula, con 5 victorias y solo una derrota. He enters la jaula for the 7th time as a pro, with 5 victories against 1 lone defeat. De la capital azteca, la Ciudad de México, Ismael Kraken Zamora. El referee internacional, Raúl Porrata.
Obedezcan mis órdenes y protejan en todos momentos. Obey my commands and protect yourselves at all times. Yo quiero ver una pelea limpia. Toquen guantes, touch gloves. Back to your corners.
Raúl Porrata, our referee. Man from Morocco. Anas Azizoun, background of Morocco, now fighting out of France. But this man is a force to be reckoned with. 20-1 in K1 kickboxing. And don't know But it's a potential that we may have to bring out our umbrellas because there's a reason why he's called a rainmaker, thanks to all the offensive power in the stand-up game. But Ismael Kraken Zamora is a guy that is willing to fight at any time and at any place. And it's something really remarkable what he's done here in Combate Global. He started his career as a professional back in 2021, taking on Gustavo Navarrete. But what's amazing is this year, he's already fought 4 times. All those fights have gone, the most they've gone is to the second round, which is incredible. Most fighters, maybe fight 2 times a year. But this guy has fought 4 times already here in Combate Global. This would be just solely this year his 5th fight, which again is something unheard of. His only defeat goes to Saul Tejerina by way of split decision. Prior to that, he picked up a few wins by way of knockout and one by submission by way of armbar. So the fact is that this guy is just incredible, that he's willing to fight anytime, any place. And well, he trains at a great camp. That's the Bone Breakers with the likes of Eric Montaño and Meli and David Martinez. And has a coach there from Jair Cruz, had a background in Taekwondo. But look out for Anas Azizoun, background of Morocco, but now fighting out of France. And he reminds me of a Gregoire Mousasi. Very stone-faced, doesn't show a lot of emotion. He likes to make a lot of the talking by way of his hands. 40% wins by way of TKO. Trains out of the Chaos Squad with Samir Kari and Yanis Cheruf. Primarily a striker, but has felt that he's done a good effort transitioning from kickboxing to MMA, which, look at that takedown right there. That doesn't really show that he is just a kickboxer. This guy is using his ground game, using those hooks, trying to put the Kraken into a really uncomfortable position here. So Azizoun says he admires his parents who worked very hard to provide better in his life. And he's coming off his first win by way of submission, which is the impressive stuff because he has that background in K1. And his first victory as a professional mixed martial artist wasn't by knockout, it was by a submission. Now he hasn't competed in some time. He reflected back after that win and started to work more on his fighting game. And all that effort, all that work that he's put into it, we're seeing it on display here inside La Jaula. 1 minute and change left in this first round. A battle of 3 rounds. Azizoun putting all that body weight on the Kraken.
Improve the position.
Now positioning and now taking it to the center of the Jaula. What can Ismael do? Now the fact that he's already, this is his 5th fight as a professional in 1 year. Surely he's young, but the point is that your body takes time to recover. And surely the most he's gone is 2 rounds in his professional fight. Professional resume. But you got to consider too all that effort that he's putting into training. So all of that takes a lot of damage on your body. You can't always train light. You're gonna have to go hard every now and then. And if you're competing 5 times a year, your body is definitely going into a whirlwind. As we're less than 10 seconds to go here in the end of this first round, we'll be back with more after the break. Well, great, incredible debut for Azizoun, K1 fighter. Only his second pro MMA fight. Already undefeated, and this is what's the impressive part about it. He has that background as a kickboxer, but already taking down Ismael cracking Zamora out of Mexico. You would figure that he'd love more of taking the fight and keeping it on the feet, but that's not the case. He is displaying all the effort and work that he's done in the training and unleashing it here for the first time inside La Jaula. Ismael Zamora, his 5th fight of the year. Could he make it 5 wins in a row? This man stands in his way, the Rainmaker. Second round action. Not a good opening of that second round, as Ismael already met by that left hand of the Frenchman. They're cracking. And the thing is, he switches the stances. Good lateral kick from Zamora. But, oh, and there's that shot landed for the Kraken. He's waiting too much here for knees. He needs to be more aggressive. He needs to be more on the offense for Ismael Zamora. He's standing too up straight, though. See how he came in with that jab? Stood up straight up. And that's that open scoring, that first round. Ooh. Slightly going for a knot for Azizoun. Still anybody's fight. Still got 2 rounds to go. Again, Combate Global giving you that opportunity of showing a display of fighters from all over the world. Azizoun, background of Morocco, but fighting out of France. He calls home. Porata alerting both men. I want to see some action. Azizoun says that he likes to fight grapplers because it throws him off due to his style. Says that he makes it very difficult for these wrestlers to figure him out. And he says that if you were to apply one move that he likes to do, is the flying armbar. In theory, that sounds like a highlight reel, but it's very difficult to land, especially in mixed martial arts. Has that background in kickboxing. He said that he transitioned because he almost felt cornered just with the kickboxing. So he wanted to feel free. See what else he's able to do, what he's capable of bringing to the table in the world of martial arts. Less than 2 minutes and a half to go in this second round. Mexico versus France. Azizoun switching the stance. That too could throw you off your game, because you have to adjust your footwork. It's impossible for a train to change directions, right? Because he's on one rail track. Well, tell that to a fighter. It's something that you have to practice when you're fighting a guy that keeps switching stances all the time. Because you're used to moving to the right, but then if he switches to a lefty, then you got to move to the left. Ismael wrapping his arms around, positioning him towards La Jaula. Knee from Azizoun. He's trying to trip Azizoun. Azizoun very smart. He knows it. See how he's positioning the left knee to prevent that. And now escaping and turning the tables. Kraken following through to his opponent. Minute left to go in this second round. Oh, blocked from Kraken. Tries to go for the failed. And Azizoun, well, that's very impressive. Many attempts for the takedown from the Frenchman. Again, and now the leg lock there needs to be careful from Azizoun. Roporata alerting him to take his hands off the cage or the howler. Kraken going for the ankle lock, but nobody home. Good way of Azizoun adjusting. 10-second mark approaching. Knee from Azizoun. Ismael escaping. Now in the center of La Jaula. Shot. And that is the takedown from Azizoun, and that ends the round. We'll be back with the final round after the break. Zamora in the red, Azizoun in the white. Towards the end of that round, the second, Zamora shook his head, notifying the Frenchman that, you have nothing on me. But remember, Combate Global is open scoring. Curious to see how they saw that second round. I would still give it to Azizoun. He had more of the offense and directed that fight. Now Zamora pinning Azizoun towards La Jaula. Snook in that left elbow. Shot to that hamstring. And after several shots of that, it gets you to limp. You know, it takes a lot of damage to that hamstring area of your leg. It's incredible action, what we've seen so far. Combate Global, mucho más acción. Make sure you're following us on our socials for some exclusive content of all the action that we've delivered here. Oh, he attempted to go for the highlight reel with that flying knee. Zamora moved away. Oh, beautiful left from the man from France. And there's the open scoring. The advantage going to Azizoun. Slightly though. Ismael still has an opportunity. There's still plenty of time in this round. Ismael, here from the corner, punish him. Yeah, he needs to pick up the pace here, especially after that open score, what we saw. He needs to be more aggressive. But I question, again, this is his 5th fight this year. How much of that has played a role? Inside kick, followed by Azizoun with another kick of his own. Good head movement from the kickboxer. Didn't check that kick from Ismael. Good knee, beautiful. Tight clinch there, and he landed those knees. Oh, and a back kick there by Azizoun. Approaching the 1.5 minute mark in this round, the last one. Oh, beautiful from the knee transitioning to the kick to the calf, and that kick connected. A very high kick, and now for the takedown from Azizoun. He is making it rain. Working now from the half guard. Again, Azizoun does have that submission victory, his lone victory. And look at that for the choke. Impressive stuff. And that goes to show you, he took time off after that win and started to work on other maneuvers, that ground game. But I'm liking how he has that hold and snuck in that knee. High kick from Azizoun. Ismael now attempting the takedown, still holding on to that single leg. Wasn't able, now he accomplishes it. He gets the back. If he wants to win, he has to go all in right now. But Azizoun reversed it, taking him to the ground, and that should earn him the fight right here, that takedown. He attempted for the arm bar, but quickly Zamora was able to escape and protect his arm. We'll be back with more, the official result, after the break. Great stuff from the debut of Azizoun here in Combate Global and Ismael Zamora, but let's see how the judges saw this.
Después de 3 vueltas de mucha más acción, el juez Rodríguez anotó 28-28, un empate after 3 rounds of much more action. Judge Rodríguez scores it 28-28, a draw. Superado por, overruled by, Judges Green and Lázaro, that scored about 29-27. Los jueces Green y Lázaro entregan tarjetas de 29-27 a favor del ganador, por decisión mayoritaria in favor of the winner, by way of majority decision. The Rainmaker, Azizoun.
Majority decision win for Azizoun. His debut here in Combate Global. Long resume as a kickboxer transitioning into the world of MMA. And he made it look good. What's impressive is that his strongest feat, which is his stand-up game, surely he used it. But the takedowns, took many of them. Many attempts to the submissions. Great counters. Great defense from the Frenchman. He put in the work in the gym, and we saw it here today against Ismael Zamora. See how he escaped that leg lock. Good way. And he was holding on to the jaula there, Raul Porrata, taking away that point. I mean, he clearly hung on to it. Either way, he did take that win by way of majority decision, and maybe it would have been a unanimous if it was not for that point deduction. But Azizoun just looked really good in there. Congratulations to Azizoun as we take a look at the stats from that bout. 81 punches thrown from Azizoun, 130 to 153. 130 connected out of the 153, that's impressive. 85% accuracy. And the takedowns from the kickboxer, 5 compared to 1. To me, that is what's impressive here. Man who has dedicated himself to combat sports, started off very successful in kickboxing, but has now transitioned into MMA. And he's put in the work, and it showed here tonight inside La Jaula. Congratulations to the Rainmaker. We're going to have to take out our umbrellas tonight. But up next, a head-to-head. Alitzel Mariscal taking on Melissa Amaya. Amaya, a lot of hype behind this lady. Let's see if she's up for it. And let's see what she can bring to the table. I'll tell you, tough opponent. Mariscal. With Lupe Contreras will be coming up with the introduction very shortly, 24 to 27. Maya, the older of the two. The height advantage goes to Amaya, again with the reach advantage, a 4-inch difference there. And 124.6 for Amaya, 125.4 for Mariscal. Lupe Contreras with the introduction.
Continuamos con mucha más acción. 3 vueltas, división peso mosca. We continue with much more action. 3 rounds in the flyweight division. Los jueces son the judges are Richard Green Jr., Richard Green y Vicente Rodríguez. Presentando la esquina azul, vestida de blanco, presenting the blue corner, wearing white. Su peso oficial, 125 libras y media, her official weight, 125.5 pounds. Con un récord profesional de 2 victorias y 3 derrotas, she enters la jaula with a pro record of 2 victories against 3 losses. De pura sangre tapatía, Zapopan, Jalisco, México. Alitzel Mariscal. Su oponente en la esquina roja, vestida de azul. Her opponent in the red corner, wearing blue. Detuvo la báscula a un peso oficial de 124 libras y media. She tipped the scales at an official 124.5 pounds. Esta noche entra a la jaula por 5ª vez a nivel profesional, buscando mantener su récord invicto de 4 victorias tonight. She enters la jaula for the 5th time as a pro, looking to remain undefeated with 4 victories. De Chaparral, Nuevo Mexico, and now fighting out of Spokane, Washington, Melissa La Mamba Amaya. El referee, Alana Vélez.
I gave you guys the instructions in the locker room. Obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. If you want to touch them up, go ahead. Come out, fight. Judge. Judge. Judge.
Alan Abellas, the third person in La Jaula. Melissa Amaya in blue.
Fight, are you ready?
Mariscal in the white. A lot of hype for La Mamba. Mariscal, though, needs to pick up that victory. She's been on a losing streak and pretty much told me that, hey, this is pretty much a do or die for me. I need to pick up this victory here tonight. It's a must win for this young lady. She's competed in Combate Global a few times already. And in fact, she decided to just really dedicate herself to MMA. Trains out of the Mad Dog team. Her boyfriend, Periquito Madrigal, trains there, who's also competed in Combate, has a background in Taekwondo, also competed in basketball, volleyball, and soccer. So she's an all-around athlete. There's no doubt about that. Her last fight was against Shannon Guthrie. That was back in 2022, a win of a unanimous decision. Suffered an injury recently that put her on the shelf. Now she's back in action. And her trainer here for this fight was Victor Hugo. She says the reason why she started MMA was as a hobby. And her aunt kind of motivated her to get into the sport and decided to go full-blown as a pro. As for Melissa Amaya, a young lady who trains at a Sikh Jitsu in Spokane, Washington with Coach Rick Little. That's the home of fighters such as Juliana Pena, our good friend, Mike Chiesa and Misha Tate have trained. So you know that she's putting in the work with some top-notch fighters. Has a great story. She came from a small town in New Mexico, Chaparral, where she played many sports, including basketball, had 2 knee injuries, and was able to overcome those sports injuries and now make her way into MMA. And I gotta tell you, this young lady, phenomenal fighter, but man, can she sing. She's also a nurse and moved to Albuquerque, New Mexico there where she earned her degree as a registered nurse. So she's a jack of all trades. But besides her talent, tonight we're talking about their MMA talent. La Mamba circling her prey. Now, if you look at Mariscal's repertoire here, her victories have come one by way of unanimous decision, the other by way of strikes. As for Melissa Amaya, talking to a girl that made her debut in 2021 here in Combate Global, and since then, undefeated. First 2 victories, one by knockout, one by rear naked choke, followed by 2 victories by way of unanimous decision. Mariscal coming in very heavy-handed. Now, Amaya is the taller of the 2. Mariscal should use that to her advantage. She's the smaller fighter, trying to go for those legs. You're going to make her work harder because she has to go down to your level. Mariscal's corner asking her to throw in that right hand. Maya looking and searching for that single leg. Approaching the end of the first round, less than 30 seconds to go. Out for the takedown. And right to the back. Now La Mamba working. Ten seconds approaching in the first round. Amaya trying to put a quick finish to this. But she will have to leave it to the second round. We'll be back with more after the break. Mariscal, Amaya in blue. It's a battle of Mexico versus the United States. Melissa Amaya looked very well in that first round. Mariscal going for the feint. Already home. Ooh. Something that Amaya needs to be careful of, and that's what she tried to go for the spinning, the elbow or the fist, but she gave her back. Don't want to do that. Especially as you start climbing up the ladder and fighting tougher opponents. Mariscal going with that right hand. We are protecting herself. Mariscal, though, just with her foot, just pretty flat-footed. And at the open scoring, all judges saw Melissa winning that fight. Sign there, the kick to the groin, but she's okay. Mariscal needs to be a little bit more aggressive. She needs to be a little bit of a risk taker. Yeah, she's going in with that overhand, the left hand, but she's too patient. She also needs to work on the offensive side of her fight game. Very stiff jab from Miss Amaya. See how Amaya has to duck and bring down to her level? And that takes a lot from a taller fighter. Puts more weight, a little bit of exhaustion to those quad areas. Good inside kick from Mariscal. And the kicks are doing damage. Look at that left leg of Amaya, already red. On the outer side of her quad area. High kick blocked. Amaya counters. Is it blood? The left nostril there of Mariscal. Now this is also good for Amaya, being that this is only her 5th fight. She's had, if you do the math, she's already competed in 8 rounds. Those first fights ending in the first round, and the following 2 fights going the distance. So she is picking up some more experience here with Mariscal. Every opponent is different, of course. Oh, great trip there. Sneaking in that right leg to trip her opponent. And now Mariscal in trouble, giving her back. Good way of Melissa working with her feet. She's trying to slip in those hooks. And she got one. No, she got the side. She's trying to move out, maybe looking for an arm triangle or an arm bar. And yes, she could have the arm bar here. Just has to flip her to the left side. However, keep in mind that the howler is right there. So you can see that Amaya is pushing herself out to allow that space to flip over Mariscal. Mariscal holding on to that arm. Protecting it. And it's a triangle. She's positioning it. Less than 10 seconds to go. And that's the end of the round. We'll be back. Last and final round. Inches away, just like in the first, where Melissa Amaya nearly had the fight to the finish. In the second, she nearly completed with that triangle, arm triangle choke, but not enough time. Mariscal with her overhand right. Mariscal going with the jab, but just one shot. Not going to do enough. You need to do the combinations, change the levels. From the jab, maybe work the midsection. And our judges seeing it clearly. The winner so far, Melissa Amaya, awarding both rounds to La Mamba. Left hand that goes from Amaya and followed through with a high kick. And again, that back. It's the second time she does that. She needs to work on that. Could be dangerous. Now, Amaya, a great way of sweeping her and putting her on her back. Now, the corner of Mariscal giving kudos because of that movement, but I think Melissa Amaya may have something up her sleeve. And she wanted to get on the back here to work something. For Mariscal, she needs to position herself out. Put both those hands on the torso of Amaya, stand up and break the guard. But watch out as Amaya is putting that left arm inside position to get the triangle. She's doing a good job at it. You're going to see that she's just positioning, finding the right time to lock it in. Be careful with the shots to the back of the head, of course. Amaya she's just waiting for the moment. There it is, positioning, and Mariscal positioning, and then she's just giving it away. She has it locked in, ladies and gentlemen. Triangle choke. All she has to do is lock it in, just position her hips to get that real choke, and she may have something here. Not yet. Melissa just has to shift those hips. Grab the arm, that's the tap. Wow. She saw it from a mile away. She just tried to perfect it, and it was just a pull of that arm. They made Mariscal tap out. And that's the coach there, Rick Little, giving props to Melissa Amaya. And you can see she had it locked in, but it was the arm. Once she extends those hips, that's it. Automatic tap. You can see it right here. Melissa breaking the grip and extending it, and that is it. Mariscal needs to go back to the drawing board and really look at what she doing. Melissa Amaya pointing something that something is wrong with the finger. Curious to see. But we'll be back with more. The official result after the break. Lupe Contreras with the official result. Melissa Amaya picking up that submission win. Lupe.
El tiempo oficial, 3 minutos 12 segundos del tercer episodio, the official time. 3 minutes 12 seconds of round number 3. Your winner by way of submission, la ganadora por sumisión, La Mamba, Melissa Amaya.
Congratulations, 5-0 undefeated for Melissa Amaya, and she just keeps getting better and better and better. Let's take a look at some of the action. Mariscal representing Mexico, and Amaya stone-faced representing the US of A. And man, every time she steps in, La Jaula, this young lady improves and keeps on getting better. What I like from here is that she was very patient, very strategic, wasn't going wild, just waiting for the right moment. Went to strike and to finish the fight. In that first and second, round. And that she needs to work on that right there because she keeps on getting her back. And someone with a little bit of more high volume will pick up on that. And I'm sure with time, she will correct that issue. But here it is. If the triangle extends the arm and the arm triangle choke, Melissa Amaya picks up a victory by way of submission. And Mariscal really needs to think if she wants to continue in the world of MMA. As she is on a very long losing streak. 47 punches compared to 67 thrown by Amaya. 25 kicks, Amaya to the 15 of Mariscal. The accuracy, 89.3% for Amaya compared to 70.5 and a 3 takedown. Great effort from all these men and women. This is Combate Global. We saw some great action from the ladies who always deliver. Melissa Amaya remains undefeated. Incredible action. And on us, Azizoun, made it rain. This has been Combate Global, where mucho más acción lives.
Combate Global.
Lupe Mateo, Elias Garcia, and the powerhouse Jimbo Slice return to action inside La Jaula. Grab something cool to drink, because Combate's action is hotter than a heat wave, and it's next! Are you ready?
Combate Global.
Oh, what a punch! What an incredible fight! Can you believe what you just saw? We have a champion!
Well, the weather outside, no doubt, is hot. Feels over 100 degrees, but inside La Jaula is a whole lot hotter in there. That's thanks to all of the action.